So we're going to be looking at two triangle word problems, the second part of our last section in the triangle unit, trig unit for us. And we're going to be looking at just solving some problems that are word problem related, but have two triangles within them. So we'll probably do a couple examples here. First one we're going to look at is a simple one. Okay, so, and the second one will be a little more challenging. So let's say that we have okay, let's say that you stand in, or let's say on the 8th floor or something like that of a building. Okay, and look, building which is a height of, let's say, I don't know, 32 meters, we'll say. Period. Okay, and then you look across the street to another building. And see, and looking down at 40 degrees, you see the, let's say, bottom of the building. And looking up, let's say at, I don't know, say 28 degrees, you see the top of the building. And the question is, determine the building, the height of the second building. Oops. Okay, so let's draw this out so that we can actually solve this. So the trick is with word problems, obviously, finding your diagram, setting it up properly. So let's say this is our ground here. Okay, we've got our one building. Okay, and then we've got a higher building because we have to look up and see the top of it. Okay, we know that the first building is, we're on the 8th floor, pretend that's the 8th floor there, and that's 32 meters. Okay, then we just make our parallel line with the ground here. We're going to look down and see the bottom, and we're going to look up and see the top. Okay, now we know that the bottom angle is looking down at 40 degrees. So down at 40 degrees, or angle of depression, sometimes they'll call it. This is 40 degrees. and then the angle of elevation looking up is 28. Okay, so we have to find this side here is 32. So basically we have to find this side here in order to add it on there to get the height of the building. Well, we can't find that side because there's no sides in this triangle. So we have to find this common side first by using this first triangle. So find the common side. So this common side, let's call it side X. And then let's call this side A here. So we're going to find side X first. So side X, this is the opposite side, and that's the adjacent side of the right triangle, if this is a right triangle here, okay, of the 40-degree one. So we can say the tangent of 40 degrees is going to be the 32 over X. We're going to solve for X. So we're going to multiply both sides by X here to get rid of the X on the bottom. Then we're going to get X tan 40 equals 32. Okay, so we're going to divide by tan 40 to get our X. Okay, now we have our calculation to get the common side X. So we go 32 divided by tan of 40 at 38.1 meters. Okay. Not sure tan 40 turned out to be 0.839 when I did that. Okay, so here we have to find A now. Now that we know that X. So again, we're using the adjacent side X and the opposite side A. So, but this time it's only tan 28. Tan 28 degrees is equal to A over X, in this case 38.1. Okay, this time we don't have to get rid of the bottom part. We just have to multiply both sides by 38.1. So that's going to give us our side. So tan 28, so that's 0.532 basically, or 5317 times 38.1. So that's approximately 20.3 meters. Okay, that doesn't give us the height of the building though, because that's just this little piece of the height. So the total height of the building is adding the 20.3 to the 32. So that's 52.3 meters. Okay, so that's the first example of using a double triangle type problem. Okay, there's a few of them in the book there. That one uses tangent, so let's do another type of example that we can use as well with double triangles. Okay. This one we'll do is a little bit harder, and it has to deal with an example where you're looking at a couple of triangles that not necessarily in the same plane. So one might be like, they might be like that, where one, instead of in the same plane like that, one is at right angle to the other like that. So we'll look at one like that as well. Okay, and then we'll give you some practice ones here. The book only has a few of them, but oh, they have a few more than I thought. But that'll be it for the unit. Okay, so let's flip the page ahead here. put my time on so I see where we are. It's about 10 minutes. Okay, so let's try this example 2. Triangles in 2 planes. So, okay, so let's say a tower is, let's say, 35 meters tall. Just from the point, okay, from a point north of the tower, the angle of elevation is 70 degrees. Period. Okay. Let's say at a second point due east, okay, at the second point due east of the tower, the angle of elevation is 50 degrees. Okay. How far are the 2 points? We can call them A and B or whatever. Okay, so let's draw this thing out. So it's kind of a 3-dimensional picture. So we'll just draw the tower in first, and then we're going to do north, east, and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so if we look at our tower, let's make it purple or something. Okay, there's our tower. Now if we pretend that this is due north here, straight across, so let's put the point there. Okay, this is due north. Okay, so this is our this is north, and then it says due, what did I say, east? What did I say? Due east. Okay, so east would be 90 degrees to that, so it would be going out this way. This is east here. Okay, that's our second point. Okay, there. So that's a 90-degree angle in there. Now these are 90 degrees to the tower as well. But we have a guide wire coming down. We'll do the guide wires in red. And we'll use a straight line tool so that we can see them better. So this guide wire is coming down to get our angle of elevation there, and our angle of elevation here. Okay, so this one here, from a point north, the angle of elevation, this is 70 degrees in that corner there, so we'll put it in there. 70 degrees with the ground. Okay, and this one here is 50 degrees. Okay, and we want to find what's this distance here, which we'll draw in blue. Let's make a straight line. Okay, so this is our hypotenuse here. So basically, we have this tower being 35 meters high. Okay, so basically we want to find in this triangle here, this is a right triangle here with the tower, and so is this here one with this one right here is with the tower. So we want to find this bottom side. Let's call it side X. And we want to find this side here, Y. And then we can use Pythagorean theorem to find the distance. Okay, so we're going to do this triangle here first with the E. So we know this side's 35. That's the opposite side. This is the adjacent side. And this is the hypotenuse here. Okay, so we're going to go, okay, let's do tan of 50 equaling 35 over, we're calling it y. Okay, so we're going to multiply by y, both sides, and then we're going to divide by, we get y times tan 50 degrees equals 35. Okay, so we're going to take that tan 50 out. So our first one is y equals, let's see here. Okay, 35 divided by tangent of 50. So I get 29.36, or we'll say 29.4. Okay, so that's that side. Now we're going to do x. Now x is this triangle here, the 70-degree one. So it's still the opposite side, and this is still the adjacent side. So it's another tan. So tan of 70 is equal to 35 over x. Okay, we're going to just multiply by x on both sides to get x tan 70 equals 35. Okay, and then we're going to divide out the tan 70. Okay, so that's going to give us our value for x. So 35 divided by tan 70. So I get 12.7. The other one was quite a bit longer. Let me double check that to make sure I didn't times it instead. Let's do that one again. 35 divided by tan 50. Nope, I did it right. Okay, just double checking because this one's significantly bigger than the other, but that's okay. So now we have both sides x and y. So we know that x squared plus y squared equals, and we'll call this one z here for the distance between the 2 points. So that's just Pythagorean theorem. So we're going to go 29.4 squared, or sorry, 12.7 squared, that's x, plus 29.4 squared equals z squared. Okay, so take a calculator, go 12.7 squared. Okay, that's, oh, I cubed it. 12.7 squared, my cube button's very upset. That's 161.29. plus 29 squared, 0.4 squared, that's 864.36 equals our z squared. Okay, so if we do that and add those two numbers together, I get 1025.65. So square root that. Okay, square root of that, I get 32.02, so we'll say 32 meters. So Z equals 32 meters. Okay, so there's two examples, one with, they both use tan, but that's okay. One with a situation where you have two different planes. In fact, in this one here that we did, we're using 3 triangles. If you really think about it, instead of just 2. First one, we used 2 triangles. Okay, taking a look here, there's a few more building examples. Okay, there is an example with a tower on a tower example as well. So you have to work out, but we did examples of that last day, so that'd be fine. And they draw out a few of them for you, so that's not too bad. So I think that should be good for, keep it short today. It's been 22 minutes in already, and let's do our practice here so that you have, this is our last topic of the triangles unit, the trig unit. So this is on page 119. Okay. We'll be looking at word problems. So I'll give you a few of the different types. Okay, so let's do a first one we'll do is number 9, because that's similar to the building one that we did. Not exactly the same, doesn't give you, and then okay, and then we've got 11 there with a pole. Let's do 11. Okay. Okay, and then the one that I just did is like number 12. Okay, that's a 3-dimensional one there. I'll skip over to the next page, and we will do, let's do 13. So, assuming they take you about 5 minutes a piece, they won't take you that long. That should be fair enough for problems. If you're still having trouble, you can always do some extra ones if you feel like it. There's lots of extra in there. Okay, so that's been about 24-25 minutes. That's good enough for our video today. That takes us to the end. Just a couple things before I log out here. So next day we're into the review part. So that means probably a hand in coming with this at the end of the unit, and then looking at maybe a test review, which maybe we'll do live, and then do the exam. Okay, so that's the things that we have left in this unit, first unit of our math. Good luck.